Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to this segment of Canon News. Canon confirmed yesterday that they will be announcing the Canon R5C next week on January 19th. A lot of people thought that the announcement would be during the Imaging USA conference, which it doesn't really seem to be that's the case now. They will be doing it on the Wednesday, which is the day after that conference ends. Now, what we know so far about the R5C is it's pretty much going to be a enhanced version of the R5 where they fixed some of the overheating issues, as well as added a few other things like a full-size HDMI port instead of the mini, and then a few other slight changes. On the screen, you can see the full list of specs as we currently know it. I know a lot of people are very curious to see what the price is. I'm guessing maybe around $4,500, $4,600, because they're still going to want to sell the Canon R5. I don't think this is going to be a direct replacement. Knowing Canon, they're going to want to have both cameras out together and still try and make as much money as possible from both units instead of just flat out replacing one of them. Now, also during that same announcement, maybe we'll get some more information on some new lenses. There apparently was at least another one or two lenses that Canon was supposed to announce that we haven't heard from yet. Now, speaking of Imaging USA, which I mentioned earlier, that conference does start this weekend and runs through the 17th, I believe, of next week. I know a lot of people were hoping to hear something from Sigma in terms of their new lenses for the Canon RF mount. Now, after looking at the updated list of vendors that are supposed to be at the expo, I no longer see Sigma on that list, so it looks like they may have pulled out from the conference. Hopefully we'll still hear something from Sigma in the next month or so about their new upcoming RF lenses and what the lineup is going to look like. Now, on to the main part of this news segment. If you updated your Canon R5 firmware to the 1.5.0 back in December, you may have noticed having some autofocus issues. This does seem to be more widespread now and an issue with the firmware itself. There have been a few guides listed on Canon Rumors as well as YouTube on how to downgrade your firmware back to 1.4 if you're having those issues to the point that it's making your camera unusable. And I will leave a link to that post and to the video down in the description. That way you guys can find out if you want to downgrade your camera. Now, when I first upgraded my R5, I was noticing these issues. One of the first shoots I went and did, I noticed I was having a ton of autofocus issues and figured it had something to do with the patch. At that point in time, I didn't really know that you could downgrade your firmware. It wasn't something I looked into. At this point, I would say the other option is to hold tight. It seems to be widespread enough at this point, especially with Canon Rumors reporting on it, that Canon is most likely aware of the situation and will probably put out some type of new firmware fix for this problem coming up soon. I mean, so far they've done 6 or so firmware updates in the 18 months the camera has been out, so they've been pretty good at getting firmware updates when we need them. Luckily for my use case situation, I'm not having so many issues that I can't bear with them until we get a new update. So I'm not going to risk downgrading my firmware and possibly hurting my camera, because anytime you do something like that, there is a possibility of harming your camera. Now, that's going to be it for the news this week. If you guys have any questions on any of the things I talked about in this video, please let me know down below. This series is something I'm going to try and continue on a weekly basis whenever Canon news pops up. If you like the content and you like the channel, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for this video or subscribe to the channel. That way you can get some updates whenever I put out new Canon related news or any type of review videos on camera and photography or electronic related products. Now, with that said, until next time.